guys, it is me again. So today I've got here some salted cod. I picked this up at Publix has it, and Harry Teeter's has it as well. The reason I'm gonna be putting it in water because it does have a lot of salt. So you have to let it hang out in cold water, and you're gonna have to change the water maybe 2 or 3 times. You may want to, by the second time, that's to take out all of that salt. By the second time, you may want to kind of taste it just to make sure, like a little tiny bit, so it's not too salty. Because what happens is sometimes when you take too much of it, then you have no salt, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to show you how it comes. And this stuff smells pretty strong. I'll be honest. But I am going to make this because I want to prep this because I'm going to be making you a bag so you can see. I buy it frozen, and you get banana leaves and you make pasteles. And my cousin, I have made this for him a couple of years ago, because back home we take the yuca and we boil it, and then we make this with a sauce and we serve it like that. So I thought, well, what's the difference? I could probably make some pasteles like that. And I was just kind of, you know, like always, I was experimenting, and they turn out so delicious that to this day he still speaks about it. So September 2nd, he'll turn 65, and I want to surprise him by sending him a box of pasteles. So I'm gonna make my salted cod, and I'm gonna freeze it until I'm ready to make it. Because this is not something that you want to make all at one time, because it's a lot of work. But let me show you what I'm talking about, yuca, what it looks like. Cassava is what it's called. But see, this is the one that I buy, and I buy it frozen because I don't like to mess with the one that you have to peel or anything like that, because chances are you end up with a bad one. And they need to be completely white inside. Like when it's open, you'll see in here, and some of it will have, it'll start turning bad, and then you get home and you're like, oh man. So I always buy them like this. This is how I like them. So that's what I'm going to be making later on. But for now, I just wanted to bring you in to show you that these need to go in water, in cold water. You let it hang out for about an hour or 30 minutes, and you come back, you change the water, you add more water. You probably do this about 3 times. It just depends how much salt is in the cod, okay? But this one looks like I picked a really good one, because look, it's got a lot of meat, kind of thick, which is nice. But it's loaded with salt. So anyway, I will bring you back probably tomorrow. Good morning, good morning. Here's the salted cod. I changed the water twice. The second time I let it sit overnight in the water. Took the water out, filled it up with new water, and put it here to a medium to cook. Now, I'm going to go ahead and empty it out a 3rd time so I can get rid of all that white foam you see. Put more water, and then put it back on the stove until it gets tender. And then I'll drain it, let it cool, clean it of any bones it might have or skin. Okay, as you can see, I strained the water out already. I'm gonna put it back on here. I will say that your house will smell like fishy when you're doing this. I try and do it on medium high because I don't want to rapid boil, so it's not to let out so much steam and smell even more. But it would be ideal if it's a nice cool day that you can open windows to get the smell out. But the other thing I wanted to mention is this is my 4th water change. I'm not changing it anymore. Sometimes you will find that sometimes you change the water too much, so then it has no, you'll have to add a little bit of salt. You just taste it and see. Normally you don't really have to, but sometimes if you change the water too much, you might. But I'd rather do that than it be salty after I'm done cooking. So I'll bring you back once it's done cooking and I get ready to season it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is another day, the second day of my canning and prepping. What's happening today is I just wanted to, I'm sorry, I picked up my hair, but I wanted to show you the cod that I've been talking about. So I have already taken all the bones and shredded it. I tasted a little bit of the water. It's not that salty, but I wanted a little bit of it in there because instead of freezing it, since I have no room, I'm going to be canning it. So then I can use it later on when I get ready to make the pasteles I talked about during the first half of the video. So I just wanted to show you how I'm gonna go ahead and season it. I have my pot here, and oh boy, hold on. And I have here some onions and some of my cachucha peppers. This is what they look like. Hold on. These are the cachucha peppers. They're really they're different from the peppers that, let me turn this on, from the peppers that, the Spanish peppers that I talk about, the sweet ones that I absolutely love them. These are cachucha. They have flavor, but the flavor is not as potent as the ones that I'm trying to grow currently. Anyway, so I cut some of that. I have some of my devilish Troy hot sauce. I'm probably going to be adding all of it. And then here I have my sofrito, which of course, you know, I always smell it. It just blows me away how delicious. But this is the one that has those little peppers that I tell you, the sweet peppers that they're out of this world. Anyway, obviously I have some seeds here that I'm going to use later on. But let me get this started. And I also wanted to talk to you about something that I went ahead and created a little while ago, because I believe in not wasting food at all. Because food, there's a lot of people that go hungry in this world. A lot of children that go to bed on an empty stomach, and throwing food away, wasting is just not one of the things. And I can tell you firsthand, as a child, I will say this. Let me back up. As a child, this is another thing that's important. So as a child, we didn't have cakes and desserts and chocolate and all these little amazing things that we got to experience here in the United States when we came to the United States. So just to give you an idea. So for me, food was very limited. It was always either rice or beans, you know, not a whole lot of vegetables, even though we are from a tropical Caribbean island and it does have an abundance amount of vegetables. We didn't have it. So for me, the wasting food is just not an option here. I will make whatever I can to save it. I'll freeze it. I'll do what. Let me get my oil so I can get this thing going. I'm going to use this just because I don't want to go in the garage and get the other oil. So I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to saute. This is really fast, you guys. It doesn't take a whole lot. Saute my onions, and then I'll add this. I will add a little bit of tomato sauce, not too much. And then once I'm done with all that, I am going to be, once I'm done getting this prep, I'm going to be canning all of this stuff. And that'll be the end of my canning for today, because I've been at it for 2 days. Let me grab my tomato paste. Hold on a minute, because I believe, yes, I do have some here in my fridge. So here's my tomato paste that I'll be adding. Obviously, I'm not going to be adding salt because the fish already, the cod fish already has salt. You want a lot of onions. You want it, what you're looking for is, you want your bacalao, your salted cod, to be very, very flavorful. Because since I'm going to make pasteles, and I'm going to make it with yuca, which is cassava. The thing with that is, it's like a potato, if you will, only a more dense potato. Once it gets cold, it gets really dense, and it really has no flavor. So you want to get as much flavor into the stuffing of it, which is gonna be the salted cod, so that when you bite into it and you get all the flavors of the cod with your cassava, which is your yuca pastel that I'm gonna be making. Now I'm gonna add my peppers. This I'm gonna bring over here because I'm done. Conchita's sitting on the other side waiting. But anyway, let me just, I don't know, can you see? I'm always having to mess with this, you guys, and I am so sorry. Yeah, this is always. You probably can't even see me because I gotta have this at a good angle that you can probably see this. So this is what we have going here, you see? I'm gonna add everything that I have in here. Like I said, you want it to be very, very flavorful. So I'm gonna do this. It's a lot, but that's okay. That just means that when I get ready to make the pasteles, it's gonna be amazing. And honestly, I always say this, but I wish I could transmit the aroma that's coming out of this kitchen. That's how, it's just incredible. Okay, there we go. It was kind of lopsided, that's why I did that. Okay, so, I don't know if you can see this. Should I bring you closer so you can see what I'm gonna bring this thing closer. We're always having to play around with this thing because it's always a challenge for me. Oh gosh. Okay, let's push this over. I'm gonna bring this here and see if I can bring you closer so you can see. Okay, I think you can see there what I'm doing. Perfect. And I'm sorry, guys. I know it seems like I'm apologizing every few minutes, but like I said in one of my videos, I'm just here because I enjoy what I do and I want to show you what I do. And hopefully you give it a try one of these days and find out that you like it, or you learn how to use a certain vegetable or something that you had no idea how to use it before, or what it was called, or what it looked like, so you didn't know how to, get it at the grocery store, etc. All right, so this is I'm going to add my devilish Troy to it. I think I'm going to add a little bit more salsa, more of this to it. And then here comes the leftover of devilish Troy. It's going to be hot, but that's okay because there's quite a bit of it. This is all that I want to do. You see that? I'm sauteing my sofrito. And then I'm going to add my codfish. Keep in mind, I've already taken out all the buttons. I was going to say buttons. All the bones and everything out of it. And I may have missed some, quite honestly. But you just got to be mindful. I still look for it. And I do, I make sure I tell them, hey, don't just hog, when you're eating it. Be mindful that it could have, you might find still some bones, because the bones are really hard to see. But now back home also they make these cod fritters, and they use they'll make it either with cornmeal flour, and it's delicious, or they use just regular flour, and they make them like that, and it's absolutely insane. Really, really good. So this is what you're looking for. See that? That's it. This is seasoned cod that will go in a minute. I'm going to have to set all this stuff. I'm going to put all this in because, like I said, I have to can it, and I need some kind of liquid in there. So, since I'm going to be canning it, and I don't want it to dry out in my canner, so put it all in there. That's fine. I'm just going to let it, some of it, kind of, see, there's one right there. See that? Can you see? There's one. Okay. So I'm going to let it kind of reduce a little bit in sauce, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to put it in my jars. Actually, not too much. I'm gonna put it in my jars and I'm gonna can it. And then I'll have bacalao, salted cod, ready to go. And that's about it, you guys. When I get ready to assemble these, because I will be making a video on how I make the yuca pasteles, I will bring you in. Thank you so much. Oh, Lord. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, I'll bring you in a couple of weeks from now, actually, when I get ready to assemble it, to make the pasteles. I'll put out a video, and so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Hey guys, so here you have it. This is the codfish. I went ahead and canned it. I was able to get 2 jars, and I canned it because, like I said, I'm going to be making pasteles, but it's going to be at a later date. But at least I have these already done. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when a new video is uploaded. Thank you.